Welcome to the final episode of My Country. Woo, we are finally there. We apologize for being late. Happy holidays. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving weekend. Stuffed yourself with tons of food and drink.
I'm back from a 6-hour drive.
6-hour drive, and we needed to do this video.
Yes.
We really just needed to do this video.
Absolutely.
Let's get to it. Oh my god.
So
I have never felt so fooled in my entire life.
What about Vagabond? Would you put this up there with Vagabond's twist?
I would say this is better than Vagabond's twist. Like, honestly, only because I had so much emotional investment into Bangwon. You know, we've been covering My Country for a while, and we have just gotten so fond and big fans of Bangwon's character. It's such a twist in the chest right now, and I'm just like, oh my.
I think for me, it's less of a twist and more of a misdirect because, you know, it's not on the same level as a big bad that's been like unveiled. It's like it's more like, oh yeah, we forgot there was this person who killed his father. We just haven't been paying attention to that fact. We've been, you know, so invested in this revolution, getting Bangwon onto the throne, and Soo-Hui and Sun-Ho's little squabbles with each other, and we forgot, hey, this could potentially be a problem for their little alliance.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, I love Bangwon, but now I'm just so indifferent. I don't know how to feel. I'm just like, oh my god, this was one of the best characters ever, and then it's like a stab in the back, man. That's why it's such a good show. It's such a great finale, because we were taken through such highs, such lows, the crying and the cheering and the battles, and then, you know, this twist was just amazing.
I'm still a big fan of Bangwon, and the reason that I am is because, you know, he owned it. You know, he didn't try to go around or beat around the bush. He didn't try to kind of make excuses for it. You know, I told you when I was watching this that I thought, you know, it really wasn't Bangwon, and it was more of a case of the previous king using him as Lee Sung-Kye used him to kill Po-eun. But, you know, he owned it. He didn't make excuses. He was like, this is why I killed your father, and this is why.
We all know they were all playing the long game. Little did we know the one who was playing the longest game of them all was Bangwon.
The Bang-longest game of them all.
The Bang-longest game of them all. Oh my goodness. You know what? Like, I feel like there was some bittersweet poetic justice as well with Hui and Sun-Ho, like reconciling and pretty much ending up together like as friends as they should have been from the very beginning. Do you still feel like Sun-Ho deserves to be labeled as this villain that should not be deserving of the reconciliation?
I'm not gonna say that he's not deserving of reconciliation, and I've never labeled him as a villain. I've labeled him as a roach. He's just one of those guys that just keeps coming back for more, and like I really didn't think that he needed to always be there, always inserting himself into these conflicts, but you know, the plot demanded it. And, you know, the way they reconciled, it did make sense narratively. So, you know, I'm all for it, but I still think he's a roach.
Yeah, I thought it was I thought it was great when it finally felt like Sun-Ho like was allowed to or was able to live like a decent life. They rescue the village people of the Northern Punitive Forces families, and they go back to the village and they share in the bounty of eating phoenixes. And you start to see that, you know, this was also an option for him, you know, as part of a life that he could have had.
This is exactly why I thought he was a roach this whole time, is because, you know, when he got down to it, he could have chose to help Hui and just like removed himself from all of these conflicts, stopped getting himself stabbed 6 times and coming back to life.
We should do a stab count. How many times did My Country characters get stabbed?
Moonbook, the doctor, he made some comments about Hui getting stabbed, and Sun-Ho was like, these guys must have like 9 lives. And I was like, oh, that's self-awareness right there.
Well, there it is. Plot armor to the fullest. Like Huang Sun finally dies.
Yeah.
After 9 lives, so to speak.
He did get stabbed at least 6 times though, which is like the count that's way too much for someone to die. He should have died like the second stab.
Yeah.
But there's this running gag in the show that like from 15 to 16, he's just like, it's not deep enough.
Oh, my wound's not deep enough.
It didn't hit a vital area.
It only went through the other side of my body.
Yeah, it's weird, right? We saw that in the end of episode 14, the beginning of episode 15.
Yeah.
He ran it through.
Yep.
And he went to Moonbook. It wasn't that deep.
Well, in any case, Hui, I believe, finally, he sacrificed himself for the country he believed in. And to me, that was a bittersweet and justified ending. I personally loved the finale. I love this ending. It was very poetic. Him taking out all those arrows. How iconic is that for a hero or some sort, like to just, the final shot is him like hunched over. It's very iconic.
Very iconic.
All the arrows like all over his body.
Reminds me of Chris Claremont's Wolverine when he's sitting there with all of the swords in his back. Very iconic.
Reminds me of Jet Li's Hero when he took on all those heroes at the end of his movie.
But in any case, that's the whole reason why I am still a fan of Bang-Wan, is because he never really compromised what he believed in order to build that nation he was building. And Hui, in some senses, was like, I want to believe in his vision for a country for the abandoned.
Right.
And so he sacrificed himself in order to protect the people he loved and what he believed in. He didn't want to kill Bang-Wan.
Right.
And just kind of make all of the sacrifices they've made, all the blood that was spilled, in vain.
Yeah, and I think at the end, Hui was just tired of the whole vengeance thing anyway. He wanted to believe in Bang-Wan, like you said. But the longest game of them all that Bang-Wan played, ultimately, he's alone in the end. You see the torture in his face, right? Like when he's standing next to that throne, all by himself with a tear, glistening in his eye, like everything that he did, he has to endure, and now he has to endure, being the crown prince alone, all by himself.
And that's, I guess, the crux of the story. I mean, like, they went through so much to put him on the throne, and at the end of the day, his reign is lonesome. And while I did enjoy the finale and it made sense to me narratively, I didn't like it because it made Sol Yun cry. The most idealistic ending for me is Hui gets injured severely with those arrows and comes back and lives happily ever after.
Has the yearly dinners or whatever, yearly meals.
their annual dinner that they promise to each other. But in any case, like, Hee-jae is my second favorite character, of course, second to Bang-Wan, because there's so much depth there. But not having her happy ending, and just the last thing she knows or sees of Hui is arrows being shot into him and then the doors closing is like the most tragic thing you can ever put upon someone that loves that person.
Well, I mean, I thought it was just one of the best finales I've ever seen. I want to know what you guys thought of the finale. Who are your favorite characters? Were you fooled like me? Were you fooled? I think you were fooled too.
I was fooled, yeah.
Yeah, were you guys fooled? Because it felt like I was fooled. Tell us who your favorite characters were. Did it ever change your mind whether, Bang-Wan was still your favorite character? I think he's still kind of my favorite character, despite
Bang-Wan,
of being fooled.
Hee-jae, So-Hui, and Sun-Ho is like at 10 because he's a roach.
Well, my list, Sun-Ho is like in the top 5 somewhere there. But in any case, that's it for our video, guys. You have to let us know in the comment section below what you think of the finale. And what are we going to cover next? There's so much content out there that Netflix is providing.
I think it's Memories of Alhambra.
Maybe we will be doing Memories of Alhambra.
Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and if you want to see more from us, subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when we post new videos, and we'll see you on the next one.